Well, welcome everyone to this very special event. I'm Mal Beaverstock, President of Foxborough Cable Access. We're the town committee who are working hard to encourage local programming in Foxborough. Today marks a very first start and official beginning to our programming. It's the first use of our television studio, and more importantly, it's the first live broadcast going out over Channel 8. It's really the start, I think, of a new communication era for the town of Foxborough. To begin this inaugural program, I'd like to call upon Father William Keneally, who's a pastor of St. Mary's Church here in Foxborough.
Almighty Father, it is fitting and proper that we begin this inaugural broadcast by asking your blessings on us. It was you who granted to human beings the ability to reason and to express their ideas to one another. And certainly any effort we make in a community to better exchange those ideas, to exchange our knowledge and regard for our fellow human beings is worthy of your blessing. And so we ask you to begin this broadcast by showering on us all the goodness that you have for us, and we do this in your name. Amen.
Well, of course, no opening ceremonies or grand beginnings can begin without a ribbon-cutting ceremony. And so we have one. Taking part within the ribbon-cutting ceremony are individuals who have played a part in really bringing cable television to Foxborough up to this point. Richard Thompson is going to be representing the Board of Selectmen. Kevin Poirier will be representing the state government, Ed Lenahan for the cable company, and myself for the Cable Advisory Committee. Now, the ribbon is positioned between two of our portable cameras that are used for shooting programs outside of this studio. We move over. Then, gentlemen, if we take position, everyone take one of our ribbons. And I'd say that in the spirit, certainly, of cooperation that brought us to this point, let us now continue. Thank you. Now, the Board of Selectmen are the licensing authority in the town, and they were the ones who really first started the licensing process to bring cable television to Foxborough. So now I'd like to call on Richard Thompson, the chairman of the Board of Selectmen.
Thank you, Mal. I should point out I'm only vice chairman. I haven't made chairman yet. It is a pleasure to be here at this opening, and it's been a long process in coming, and I think it's one of the good events and great events in the history of the town of Foxborough that we are going on local programming in the cable process. The board has asked me to use this occasion to recognize someone who has worked very hard to bring this about. And Malcolm, if you could step over here with me, I'd like to read to you a citation from the Board of Selectmen, which says, "The Town of Foxborough, Office of the Board of Selectmen, official citation. On behalf of the townspeople, we would like to extend our sincerest congratulations to Malcolm Beaverstock for his untiring efforts as chairman of the Cable Advisory Committee and president of Foxborough Cable Access Incorporated. The fruits of his labor enable the residents to be informed, to participate, and to be entertained through the medium of telecommunications. Given this 29th day of January, 1984, Peter Stanton, Richard Thompson, and Stephen Hickox, Board of Selectmen, Foxborough, Massachusetts." Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Well, I certainly appreciate it, and certainly say I would accept this really on behalf of all the people who have also been part of the process, the committee members, and all the people who make up Foxborough Cable Access, and hopefully we'll be making up it in the future, not only the people continuing, but a lot of new people coming in. Moving on through, you know, the licensing procedure that we went through and all the work was really set up and carried out under the regulations of the state government on cable broadcasting. Both state and federal levels, there's a lot of regulations that go by the old rule of if in doubt, regulate it. So these are constantly changing. The problem being that there are no precedents in cable television. And so I think it's very fitting that we have Kevin Poirier here with us today, because in all the changes and new regulations that will be coming through and looking after the local interests of cable television in town, we're going to need all the help we can get up at the State House. So Kevin?
Thank you, Mel. I'm definitely honored to be with you today. This is a very historic occasion for the town of Foxborough. Also, I'd like to mention another fact, and that is that now the 3 towns that I represent, Foxborough, Plainville, and North Attleboro, all have cable TV, and I think that is something great. You know, I just wonder, you know, going back a few years when I was a youngster, and I remember sitting with my parents and saying, you know, what was life like in the old days before television? Now I can just imagine my little 2-year-old Brendan saying, Dad, I wonder what life was like in the old days before cable. Cable is a very, very important part of our lives. I noticed that in government, it is a highly regulated industry. I was a former member of the Committee on Government Regulations. I know this is a very highly regulated industry, and I have worked with my other 2 communities, and I'll have to say that I will do the same with the town of Foxborough. So I thank you for the invitation to be here at this historic affair, and I can guarantee that I will continue to work with your Foxborough Cable Access Company. Thank you.
Of course, you know, none of this would happen at all if there was no cable company to provide a service to the town. And I think we're fortunate to have Massachusetts Cablevision coming in as the licensee in this case. In fact, they were the ones that proposed all of the facilities that are here and the programming that could be carried out on a local level. So I say both really a thank you and welcome to Ed Lenahan, who's the regional manager for Mass Cablevision.
Thank you, Mr. Beaverstock. On behalf of the staff here at Massachusetts Cablevision Systems, myself, and the main office in New York, we welcome you and your committee to this wonderful studio. This is a first for Cable 8. It's a first live program going out. And believe it or not, having worked with this company for 5 years, it's the first time that I have ever gone out on television. So let's hope that this is a good omen. We welcome you. It's our pleasure to be here, and we hope that you make this facility your pleasure. Thank you.
Well, you know, I think Foxborough has chosen to accept a challenge of local access programming. Other towns, both in the state and actually in other states where cable has come in, have usually left it up to 1 or 2 individuals to decide what would be a good program for the town. Foxborough Cable Access, as a group of local volunteers, is dedicated to build a whole completely town staff to actually decide what it is we want to show, to carry out and do the programs, produce them, and do it all on the local level, to involve as many people as we possibly can. You may have noted, if you checked any of the channels, that we have established some channels that have been given to us from Mass Cablevision. Channel 2 is our school channel. On that channel, we have school notices, and we'll be putting on some school programming as we come along. Probably noticed already that there have been some of the no school announcements coming up there. Channel 5 is the public service channel where we have notices for the many organizations in town. Foxborough Council on Human Services have very graciously provided the volunteer help to keep that channel going. Channel 6 is putting on notices about the town government. Everything from when trash collection will be held to special meetings or anything else of town government interest. And the office of the town clerk has been keeping that channel going. Channel 8 will be our main programming channel. be the channel that you'll be seeing programs on, and we'll be starting actually programming and scheduling programs very shortly. Now, there are two ways that you can all take part. One is to come in and sign up for the free training courses that'll enable you to take out the type of camera equipment you saw where we had our ribbon cutting ceremony. Take that equipment out and produce your own shows if you think you have something that the town should see. The second way is by joining the corporation itself and working on really the administration of this television station, which is really what it is, and would ask you to come down as a volunteer, anything from sitting in the office for a while, taking phone calls, to writing stories, whatever might interest you. In any case, please come down to the studios here and look around, see what the facilities look like, and get acquainted with the people who are working here. This is a learn by doing experience. And that's why I think it's a good challenge to the town and a very interesting one, and one that I think will prove important as we learn how to handle this communication device. And so as we now close our opening ceremonies, I would remind you all of one thing. If you're watching this, don't just sit there. Come on down and take part. Be a part of cable programming in Foxborough. Thank you.
That's the way we looked at it. We do things with the subscribers. Very good, very good. That's right,
You may get something, you know, you may get that's not much more than I like to do that. I like to have some ideas about that. Thank
We want to take a video.
What are your ideas? Do you have ideas? I put people on the spot and say, what are your ideas for housekeeping?
Yeah, the ideas for
What did you think of the house? What did you think of the facility? Yeah. I know, but we better get working because half the crowd we have is only grabbing by the door as they go out. Sure. You might even take a shot of the van. Yeah, the van's supposed to be open, I think. Yeah, they do have it open, and I think they got a tape out there, too, now.
Bye. It was good seeing you. Dad, come over sometime.
I will. I know you will. I know, we made plans. I never did that.
Which way do we go? We went the wrong way. Well, I'm sure.
I just carry on right through.
There are some departing people coming behind us if you want to get for our first interview when we get to the end.
Could we ask you your impressions of the studio? And
I think it's really real nice, and I enjoyed my trip in there, tour in there. It was very nice.
do you have any ideas that you'd like to see the Access Company do for the town?
Well, I haven't got any ideas now, no. But it was really nice. I was glad I was able to come up and see it.
Oh, good.
If it wasn't for my sons, I wouldn't be here.
All right, we'll question it now. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Do you fellas have any comments on that?
Not really. I didn't know what to expect when I came here, but I was very impressed with what I saw, and all kinds of equipment and a lot of good things. Knowing the local things going on in town will be nice to know, that type of thing. Very impressed with it.
Okay, be sure to stop by and see the van.
Will do.
Okay.
Okay.
You, sir?
I thought it was very nice. Very impressed with the building and the layout of it. You know.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Aren't you girls glad you got all dressed up to come up here, huh? This could be a chance, you know.
Somebody might see us.
Hi, just arriving? Head right in. Right down here and on the left. Down straight ahead of you and on the left.
Gotta get him after this. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is the only applicant. So they should be pretty close to signing. That will be the same. No, they will have, each of the town has some new facility now. The hard thing is all that paper to do and actually editing it down. Because editing takes about 10 hours for every minute. So that is a long time. And the hardest part is the editing, and that's where we would like our own, keep our own facilities here and use it for Foxborough, which we can. But we're happy with the facilities here. They are the best in the entire region. I think we're very fortunate to get in with cable when we did.
You have a lot of first-class equipment here.
Oh yes, this is certainly the best equipment, and the thing is, it isn't exactly the same equipment as what was in the license, but it's better for the same amount of money. The technology changes that fast. And that's the hard thing, just trying to keep up with what's new in cable television. But I think it's going to be a very good future for us all here in the town.
Good. We wish you luck.
Good.
Opening ceremonies and everything?
Well, they should have had a guide. Explain everything, really. People were just wandering around, didn't know what to look at. I would have liked to have had a guide. Explain the facilities a little better.
Do you have any ideas on what you'd like to see the Access Company do as far as programs?
No, not right at the moment. None I can think of.
Okay, thank you. We'd like to take a look at the van.
Okay.
Come on, Jen.
And actually, a little, if you have some time, one of us could go in with you. I think because there
There's
wasn't
a couple of likely candidates right here.
Hi.
Hi. Now that you've toured the facilities, would you like to express your thoughts on what you saw and any ideas you may have for the Cable Access Company to do?
I just thought it was an excellent day. Enjoyed watching the production and picked up a few interesting tips, saw some nice people, and just thought it was a great afternoon.
I'm very impressed with the studio. I think that it's going to be a lot of fun to work in. And we do have, we've been taking the cable training class and find that quite a nice feature too for the town and benefits of the citizens. We're doing working on a film production about the Girl Scout organization here in Foxborough that's just beginning to be pulled together, and we hope that will be interesting.
Would you recommend that other people come take the workshop and get involved in this?
Oh, definitely. I think it's the best thing that hits Foxborough for a long time.
Yeah, the town's very lucky to have a good group like the Foxborough Access Committee, and look forward to a good relationship with them.
Yeah, thank you. Be sure to check out the van.
Yes. Bye.
Bye. Better go in the side door over here. Be sure to stop by on the way out because we want to ask you some questions.
I wanted to ask you, what's the scheduling going to be like for workshops?
We asked the question.
Oh, now that you're here, could we ask you your impressions of the studio, facilities, and would you have any ideas that you'd like to see the local company get involved in broadcasting?
Well, first I'd like to say I think it's wonderful that Foxborough's gotten into the new age of cable. I think television is definitely the new medium, particularly with cable, and the accent on local communities inputting their own programming ideas, creativity, is definitely the next step to get away from the prepackaged commercial programming that we've been getting. I would like to see as many people as possible in this town, myself included, get involved with production, programming, and hopefully people will be able to use this as a medium for expressing any problems, any needs that they have in anything, politics, social activities, social services. I think this is wonderful. And I think the studio facilities are, being a student in communication studies myself and being around the state, this is probably one of the better facilities I've seen so far. And I myself am looking forward to getting involved and getting some hands-on experience, and who knows, maybe even taking over Foxborough Cable Access Association someday.
Good. Thank you. Be sure to stop and check out the van.
I did. I was going to drive away with it. So in regards to the original question, you know what the scheduling is like for workshops? What's being planned?
No, I know that they changed it because he was saturated. Ray, you want to hit some people up in here?
Yeah. I'm not.
Sorry, got a video there. Hi, excuse me. Don't walk away. Could you tell us what you thought of the studio, and have you signed up? And if so, what are your ideas? Would you like to see Foxborough Cable Access do?
I don't know if I have any definite ideas just yet. We just arrived about 5-10 minutes ago, so we're just making the rounds. But just a little bit curious about the training program and the also the volunteer. I noticed you have a volunteer sign-up sheet here. I don't know what it all involves just yet, but I guess.
We're coming to stay at your house.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
true? Fine.
Oh, okay.
But it's quite a nice building.
Thank you. Have any ideas on anything, sir?
I think this whole thing is a tool of the devil. We don't have a television, and I won't have a television in my house. I think this is a sin. This is awful. All this equipment around here to cost money. And you getting paid for doing this?
Thousands.
This is sinful. Awful.
I'm getting thousands.
Awful. And these two guys here?
They're getting
is just
thousands also, yes.
awful. I'd like to tell the audience.
10 TVs in his house.
I'd like to tell the audience that I think this is wonderful, and I wish you my best. This is a great studio, a great town, and we're glad to be part of it.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Could you tell us your thoughts after you've toured the studio, and do you have any ideas of joining the group and some ideas on what you'd like to do?
Oh, definitely. I think it's great. Like I was telling a few people that work here, I'm a communication arts major over at Dean Junior College, and I've been into radio and now into cable, and I think this is absolutely great. Just checking out the cameras, talking to all the people here, I think it's a nice idea getting the people in the town involved, because there are people that have a lot of ideas. I was just talking to one woman about maybe a weekly or a monthly magazine on things happening in Foxborough that would keep people up to date, you know, people that can't make it to town meetings and stuff like that. So I think it's great, and right in Foxborough, too. Can't get any better.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
What would you like to see on community television in Foxborough?
I'd like to see more sporting events for the kids, and maybe a little bit more of the town government itself, so a lot of people don't have a chance to get out or read the newspaper, have an idea of what's going on within the home.
Would you be interested in joining up onto a cable workshop to help in these productions?
I'd be very interested with time permitting. Yes, I would. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.